Well. Always wanted to start a video with a slow clap. Welcome back to a video you've never actually seen. I wanted to post this video. Actually, I didn't want to post this video. That's why I didn't post it. 3 years ago, in 2021, when I was just 15, or 4 years ago in 2021 when I was 15, I reacted to a Jubilee video, and I never posted it because the audio quality was bad, the video quality was bad, most of the audio cut out, but I haven't seen that video in 4 years, and we're going to be reacting to it fresh today. So this is me reacting to myself from 4 years ago, reacting to a Jubilee video about teenagers. I'm reacting to a teenager reacting to other teenagers. I'm going to be pausing this quite a bit, but that is me from 4 years ago. As you can see, that's the same wall. I've really improved and upgraded things in here. Obviously, I look a little different. I had so many phases in those past 4 years. I've grown so much. My hair was super long for a while. Then now it's kind of back to this. But I think 50-year-old me is going to have a lot of immature things to say, but I also think he might have some good insights. So let's talk to me from the past.
Came with LED lights here.
Already pausing. So first thing I said in that video was, "What's up, everybody? Fat kid with LED lights." That's how I labeled myself. Here's one thing. If you are you right now, from the past right now, but you're going to be you in the future eventually, be nice to your past self right now, and then also be nice to your past self in the future. So, don't make fun of yourself because other people will do it for you.
Again, for the first time ever, which totally makes sense, I'm going to be reacting to a Jubilee video.
Welcome back for the first time ever.
Reacting to a Jubilee video, which I know seems pretty basic, but this is completely unscripted and I haven't watched the video yet, but I'm about to for the first time. It's about, do all teens think the same?
Do all teens think the same? No, of course not.
Age-old question that really nobody ever thought of asking. Let's get straight into it.
I wonder if they're asking. Doing little things, little mouth things. Little nose itch. The audio's just out.
Sometimes I just want to sit and be a teen, but I can't do that because I'm constantly thinking about how my life is going to look like at 25 and the decisions that I make now.
I don't know what I'm yapping about. The audio was kind of out there. I'll get to that, though. You can already just hear how low quality everything is. That's on the same exact computer that I'm filming on right now. We just got a lot of upgrades since then, so...
Or disagree with various statements about...
We asked them to agree or disagree with various statements about being a teenager.
About being a teenager. Yes, very nice.
Very nice.
Cool video idea.
Here.
I don't want to pause this too much, but I do want to lay in my thoughts here. I feel like a lot of people in this are going to answer, but they're not. But truly, if you're addicted to something and you want to stay addicted and you don't know that you truly are yet, most be in denial subconsciously.
Subconscious denial, says 15-year-old Chris. That's true. That's not bad insight. I'm definitely going to admit I'm addicted to social media. Most of my work that I do is on TikTok. That's where I make my money, mainly. So I'm always constantly checking it for that reason. I think that that's not exactly a negative reason if it's improving your life, financially. But if you're just consuming, social media all day, I think that it's an issue if it interferes with your life. But if you have nothing to do for a little bit, I don't see that being too bad of a habit unless it really, changes the way your attention span works for certain things.
3, 2, 1.
Pick a Capri Sun. Drink a Pepsi.
Yep, called it. Okay. So two of the girls said that they somewhat agree and agree.
So the majority of this already disagree. So I'm reacting to the Jubilee video, but I'm also reacting to my thoughts. So we're reacting to two things. He's reacting to one thing, and they're doing one thing. So most of them do disagree with that. But if you get in a Jubilee video, you probably are on social media a lot because how the heck do you get on a Jubilee video? I mean, sign this guy up, sign me up. Me and my Xbox 360 profile picture shirt.
Social media, but I don't think I'm addicted. I could take it or leave it. I can put my phone down whenever I want.
That's a good skill. I cannot do that. I'm on my phone all the time, like all the time. Like I need to check Instagram, I need to check who's texting me, I need to see like what's happening.
Blocking
It's hard,
half
it
the screen.
distracts me a lot from school.
So I personally, I used social media for a total of, I think, 2 weeks. After like severe disappointment and saying that social media could bring out the worst in people, I decided
I did the same thing.
I'm not
on
going to
anymore.
use social media. If I really
That's cap. That's cap, Chris. You're a liar. You've been on social media the whole time. You pretty little liar. No, when I was 15, I was on social media for a while on everything. I probably took like a week break and probably made a huge deal out of it. I was like, everybody, I'm going to post my Instagram story. Ching! I'm leaving Instagram now. Miss me. And, nobody replied or anything because you think that guy was popular? No. But now if I want to not be on social media, I just see my phone on. You just go like this. So that. Ow! Let's get back into the video.
need to speak to someone, I could just text them or call them or talk in person.
Yeah, I was only recently allowed to get 3 months ago when I turned 18, because I wasn't allowed to have it up until then. Like, I have to make up for all the time that I missed and everything that happened and all the parties that I didn't go to because I didn't see the Instagram. I'm not, like, on it.
I'm going to pause that right there for a second. There's a mosquito in my room. So I was homeschooled for most of my school life and stuff like that, so I missed out on a lot of social connections and interactions. And like she's saying, she didn't have social media, so that could be a real, in my mind, I'm comparing that to the lack of, social interaction that I got during my school years. But it feels like you do have to make up for it now. Like it feels like that to me. Like I'm 18, almost 19 now, and I certainly have had to put in a lot of effort to understand people more because I didn't have that giant public school experience. When I was going into the 5th grade, I made myself go to public school. Like I would I just kept telling my parents I wanted to go just because I really wanted that experience of connecting with other people. And it wasn't, it wasn't as much as it should have been. Didn't live up to my expectations. It wasn't dire to be a kid. Oh, it was dire to be a kid. I was great getting bullied. I was a chunky grade, definitely. But I feel like honestly after high school ends, nobody even talks anyways. So what was all of it for? It's weird though because I always used school as a social connection rather than to learn things. So that really tells you how much I cared about my education when I was younger. Not a lot. I usually was in the nurse's office or pretending to be sick or at my house until I just left completely. I still graduated somehow though, so that's cool. On the video.
All the time, but I'm definitely on my phone way too much. I think my screen time's like 6 hours or something.
My screen time the most has been like 13 hours, 14 hours. And I'm on screens all day pretty much. So if I'm not on my phone, I'm on my computer. If I'm not on the computer, I'm on my TV or my freaking, I got an Echo Dot thing over there with the screen on it. Everything we have has a screen for convenience now. So that's cool. It's just like constant screens. And why? I mean, I don't know. I feel very different when I just take a full day away from it because you can get so consumed in this world of this echo chamber of your own thoughts, especially with social media. But screens in general it's always listening and feeding you what you want to see. By listening, I mean that everything you click and do, again, social media with an algorithm, be kind of they're little micro things that it learns off of. Like if I watch this post for 5 seconds and then liked it at 6 seconds, then it's going to recommend me a post that has something to do with that stops around that watch time or something. And that just keeps you going. And it's all designed to do that, but it's also, designed for convenience, so it's kind of like a good and bad thing in a way. But anyways, I'm going to play the video.
Crazy, I know.
12. It's pretty insane. Yeah.
He said 12. I'm going to pause this. 15-year-old me has some good stuff to say here because I remember what I said to this, at least along the guidelines of that. Sorry I keep pausing this so much. I'm not sorry. I like how I look now, but if I'm being completely honest, again, this is a developing brain at 15 who has, self-critical thoughts all the time, is made fun of constantly for being over 200 pounds and 5'3". I was... Hold on, my cheek light shut off. I was not happy with how I looked. No matter what I say here, I absolutely hated myself. But I don't at all now. I like how I look now. That keeps on playing. We're gonna leave that off. But I like how I look now. I don't think I'm particularly handsome, but I also don't mind it because everybody else around you is constantly thinking about how they look and their past, present, and future. So everyone 90% of the time, that's just a random statistic, probably not even true, is always in their heads so much. So it doesn't even matter how you look, because everyone else is thinking about how they look. And if someone points at you and goes, "Hey, you're ugly," for a second, then 5 minutes later, they're thinking about themselves. They're probably thinking they're ugly, and they're not even thinking about you anymore. You're completely out of their mind. Now it's just something they said that was mean to somebody that lives in their conscience forever. So
I think about a lot of teenagers. Quite a few really don't like the way they look, and they say things like, "I don't like the way I look, but I'm proud of myself. I'm happy to be me." But and you can't accept that because why? Because you've seen all these things. Also ties in with the social media. It's in your head that you're not perfect. Oh, stretch marks. What? No. Why do I have those? The models don't have those. They don't have those. Well, where are they coming from? A lot of people are not liking themselves. Dear viewer, you are 10% more attractive to everyone else around you than you are to yourself.
I said that. Nobody watched this video because I never posted it. I am now. But I said that 10% thing because at the time I thought that it was some kind of statistic. Now, my take on you're 10% more attractive to people than you think is more like a self-fulfilling statement. It's a good thing to have in mind and say to yourself, kind of like a mantra. You look in the mirror. You look in the mirror and you go, "You know what? Maybe I am handsome. Maybe I do like what I see a little bit. Maybe, not even maybe. I am handsome. I like me. I am 10% more attractive to people than I think." So that's, in my mind now, I think that is just a more of a self-confirming love for yourself that you should have. You should do things like that. At least I always cringe out if I'm looking in a mirror and I'm like, okay, I'm going to say good things about myself. Nice eyes. I like your eyes. You want to kiss? If I'm talking to myself in a mirror, it's I feel cringy. So how about do this? The second you feel a bad thought into your head, just change it. Just say something else. Even if you don't think it's really true, the more you say it, the more your brain's going to start leaning towards believing that. This also works with anything in life. It's what people call what's it called? Manifestation. It's not magic. It's focusing on something so hard that subconsciously every choice that you make is now going to slowly work towards that goal. So if it's liking yourself better or thinking you want to look better, do little things like that. Change how you think, change how you do that. And think so hard about how you are a good person, you're deserving of love, all these things. And eventually you'll start to slowly think about that. But that's what I was trying to say at 15. That's the thought I'm able to have now.
So if you're looking in the mirror one day and you see a fat roll or a stretch mark or some ingrown hair or a pimple or something, someone or cute to someone else, it's not the biggest thing to get focused on the grand scheme is it's life.
It's life. It's just life. I definitely had some good ideas at 15. Some of the things I think I remember saying, now I'm like, maybe not so much, but most of what I said back then is it feels like a step right behind the way I think now. It really, I can see the progression and how, who I'm becoming and stuff, so.
Strongly disagrees. What's she gonna say
there's
about
always going to be things that I'll nitpick at, but overall I'm pretty happy with the way that I look, and I know that the things that I can control, I'll change them, and the things that I can't control, it would be.
I don't want to be mean. I remember the girl in this video has a lot. She kind of like chooses a lot of different things. That makes me think like she wants to be seen more. She also talks the most in this video, so she maybe wants to stand out more unique without, maybe she doesn't realize that she's doing that. But that's like a small take on what I think. But she actually has a lot of really good things to say in this video. So
A shame for me to spend my life not enjoying my physical appearance. I respect myself, definitely, but I feel like
Definitely got some mental
I'll never
issues.
be enough. I don't know if that's part of me struggling.
I did not just say that. I was like, she probably has some mental issues, which I guess that's, again, another step behind how I would think of it now. Maturity. I'm matured a little bit, but I still think I'm kind of immature. Maybe some of the things I'm saying you don't agree with. Maybe maturity's, relative.
With my mental health,
Exactly.
but I'm just not happy with the way I look. But I'm still
She
proud
does
of
say
who
she
I
has mental
am.
health issues, actually. So
Yep.
I feel too much stress for my age. A lot of these people they worry, again, in that like span of 5 years, which they'll probably get to, I'm sure, because that's a common concern with teens. I'm in that boat right now. Let's go.
Pride, not good. 3, 2, 1. Age.
Oh, my back.
All stressing. I like the blue shirt guy. He seems cool.
I said that because I thought he looked like me, kind of, and also he's very chill. Like, he's the chillest one out of everybody. He's like, he's just like, he kind of just gets it.
No way that I should be this stressed. Like, I feel like there's so much pressure put on teens of what is the future that I'm constantly like chastising myself for things that I did in the past or overanalyzing.
Like I said,
You do overanalyze things and overthink things. Really, and it's still developing, and everything around you is so sudden. Think like, oh, just like 15 years ago, I was just a little baby, and I was having fun, and everything was so bright and saturating. And now I have to worry about all this stuff, kind of like that 21.
everything in your environment shapes you, especially when you're a kid. So worrying about those things that are so like in that, again, echo chamber of baby to 15, like all these teenagers are, and me in this video, you're only thinking in what you know. You're only thinking in that perspective. So if you really think from the outside of it, think of like a dinosaur millions of years ago. They lived to be very old. Like, that's a lot larger of a scale than just the little bit that we've existed for and lived for. So things do change. Things change very fast. You could move across the world and you could feel the same, or you could move across and you could feel different because your environment is constantly, it reflects off of how you think, reflects off of what you choose to do in environments. And every time you make a choice, it kind of stacks those environmental thoughts. Again, I'm trying to like express this in words, and even back then I tried to express this in the right words that I thought, but I still feel like there's something I'm trying to say that I'll understand in a couple years from now. So maybe we'll do another video and I'll be able to understand more about myself from watching this one. So
Pilot song, like Blurry Face,
Sing about Blurry Face with 21 Pilots.
Fun, obviously. And you should worry about that's normal. A lot of people think
You
that
shouldn't worry, but it is normal.
way. I do a lot.
He does.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself, honestly. But
Still don't.
yeah. Also, I'm a teenager, by the way.
Me too.
If you couldn't tell, I'm 15.
If you couldn't tell,
Everything that I'm going to do in the future, and I literally don't know how to live in like the now. Sometimes I just want to sit and be a teen, but I can't do that because I'm constantly thinking about how my life is going to look like at 25 and the decisions that I make now.
Yeah, that is such a small scale to your entire life, but that is a very normal thing to be worried about. In fact, me in this video is really chill. Like, I can tell because he's like, me is like, I'm not worried. And back then, all I had to worry about was being fat and having anxiety all the time. Now I'm skinny and have anxiety all the time. So I fell out of that. Like, I need to get back to that, actually, because back then I worried about nothing. And now that these sudden changes are happening, it gets my mind spinning so much, again, building on every choice I make from my environment, making me worry about what's going to happen in the next few years. How am I going to handle this? Can I handle this? Will I get through it? I don't know. It's hard to just sit here now in my gaming chair and talk to this webcam. But Those are just the little things, I guess.
Housing so much. I don't think you should worry about the age, honestly. That shouldn't be what concerns you. It should be whether you're happy with yourself.
Fuck yeah, dude. Don't worry about your... That's what I'm trying to say. It's so simple, and I'm overcomplicating it. I'm immature right now. I'm overcomplicating everything that I'm talking about. Everything in my life's overcomplicated, so I'm reflecting that by talking about it overcomplicatedly. But simple as that. Don't worry about your age. It's not about that. It's about if you're happy or not with the choices you made. So don't worry about that, because it's like, I could have this really good job by 25, but I'm not even happy in that. I'm not even happy with that at all. So you just got... It's so simple. It's so simple.
And,
So simple.
you know, famous musician in the world, there's, but, it's definitely...
See, the audio just cuts out a lot.
Every little detail. All these questions are kind of segueing into each other. They kind of all line up a little bit.
I personally, I like the stress. I'm always thinking about the future and what I want to do. So if I want to do those things in the future, I have to accomplish it a lot here, even though I kind of wish I didn't have it, because I want to do fun things instead of work constantly.
For me, my stress has affected my mental and physical health, which at 14 isn't something that
14? That's what you said. 14? I didn't expect that.
should be happening, I shouldn't have restless nights. I shouldn't be drinking coffee to stay awake.
As I pick up an energy drink.
Nice. Not even just teenagers. Little kids have that. Adults have that.
Since the audio cut out, I have no idea what I was talking about. Also, the audio is super bad because I had AirPods in to record, and then I hooked them up to a laptop. So
I wouldn't say that that's really what makes your life bad. Beats me. This thing has 200 milligrams of caffeine in it.
I actually stopped drinking caffeine. The most I'll drink is a little tiny Pepsi in the morning before 2 in the afternoon. That's when I completely cut it. And most of the time I don't do that. I went for about 2 years, not a sip of caffeine, because I'm already hyper right now. I don't need none of that. I just need a good night's sleep. To each their own though. Some people really do need caffeine, but man, it makes me go crazy. I have anxiety. People in my family have way worse anxiety than me, and it's like, honestly, it's how you grow up. I grew up around anxious people. I'm an anxious person, and that caffeine, dude, made me so anxious. This has almost nothing to do with the video, but I'm gonna just. This is controversial.
I'm not afraid of schools or school shootings.
I feel like there should be some context there, but the audio cut out, so we'll never know what I was trying to say. Thanks. Looked bad. That looks bad. That looks really bad.
Due to recent events, it has crossed my mind. It is a reality for us as students, especially going to a public school, but...
By the way, that's why they're not talking about viruses and shit.
This is back during COVID. I have no idea what I just said. It wasn't anti-woke or anything, though. I know that. I think I forgot what I said, though. But
not going to worry about it 24/7, because then I'm not living.
I'm not that scared about
That's
because
what I was saying. Don't worry about it, because then you're not living. You're not happy if you're worried.
my school is really small.
I'm not worrying about it 24/7 because then I'm not living. That's a big thing for adults as well, being worried about the future, which these teenagers are, being worried about everything. Really,
I literally just
because if
said
you're
that.
constantly worrying or constantly being afraid, then you're not even living at all. You're not living your life.
For real.
You just gotta be afraid to
I'm on
not
a
be
Zoom call with
afraid.
myself. What's that mean?
And I don't know the motivation for someone to shoot up a school, but if you're really unhappy there, you could switch schools or just drop out.
I mean, some people don't have the option to switch schools, though, but, I understand what he's saying, and I think even back then I kind of agreed with it.
For us especially, our school was pretty much all
Capacity as a mental health psychopath from the 60s.
locked out. All the teachers started putting up black paper on their windows, and that scared me more than the actual threat.
Scares her, I guess. I guess it could, but really it's just for safety measures, and You know, it's just a classic saying. Like, you could not do that and then just get shot up, and then that'd probably be more scary than anything. Because you don't notice when you get shot until you look down. And holy shit, there's a hole in my leg.
Just talk doesn't really scare me, but it's like, if the teachers start taking proactive measures and if our school isn't preparing for it, then that's what freaks me out.
It was very interesting. I do not care about current events. Because it's pretty much all fabricated. It's all kind of just like a game to keep us, you know, talking about something else than actual issues. So I don't really care about current events.
2, 1. I'm trying to live my own life. I don't care about the world events. I do care if people are dying, of course, but there's nothing I can do as a kid.
I think a lot of things that are happening are irreversible. But it is hard being in school and
there's nothing you can do as a kid, and people will like
to make a difference.
like
college
Even small things that we think might not be affecting us are eventually going to affect us if we do nothing. A lot of the times we live in our own bubble, especially because of our phones. And it's important to know what's going around the world. My family comes from Nicaragua,
I don't think it's important to know what's going on in the world at all.
But I also learn about what's happening in other countries because I find it interesting, and I would want someone else to do the same for me as well.
Just make you worry.
But it's only fear-mongering to poison.
That's what I'm saying!
That's why they talk about it.
That's literally what I'm saying,
they would
fat
stop
man.
the issues.
That's what the fuck I'm saying.
Kind of thing she's talking about, but I'm sure she'll tell us because she likes to talk.
Sorry,
I don't know how or why, but it is going to affect us.
I disagree a little bit with the whole in a bubble because of our phones, because I think the internet and our phones...
We are in a bubble because of our phones. Again, echo chambers. We're only fed what we want to see, pretty much. But we'll hear her out.
In general, kind of are providing information.
Taylor's got it wrong. Alba, whatever her name is, she's got it right in the fact about the phone bubble. Yep. Because being on a phone is straight up isolation. You can go on your phone, you can text on social media, you can go on there, you can scroll, you can look. You're by yourself.
And in the end of the day, nothing happened. You put that phone down, you've done nothing. You've done nothing at all. You put that phone down after texting someone, you communicated, but nothing has changed. Like, it's still, I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say.
You're by yourself. You're looking at other people's lives. You're not with them in that moment enjoying the boat ride or bikini photos with them.
That's why I stopped. That's why I just don't look at my friends' Instagram stuff, because my friends, again, here's a little backstory. In high school, I got into theater really hard because I've been in theater since I was like 8. I love acting, stage acting, all that kind of stuff. I got into theater. I met a lot of cool people. I thought they were my friends. Got invited to some things, and they completely ghost. And then they go hang out with each other, and then they post about it, and it makes me feel like shit. Like, for real. So I just completely don't even go on my account anymore that I'm friends with those people on, because people don't even think about you. People don't even think about each other unless you're like there already. And there's nothing I can do. There's no amount of nice I can be or value I can give to make those people want to hang out with me. So just, that's my own personal situation, though. That's my own little anger rant. But I think Instagram is stupid for that reason, because people really don't care. They really don't. But
you know, it's isolation and it make you depressed, and that's why.
It doesn't matter if they don't care. I sound like pity. I sound like feel bad for me. Don't feel bad for me, because you're not going to think about me in an hour from now, and I can't even see you. So, just me talking to fat me.
We're not called like people that use social media. We're called users. That's what they call. That's what drug dealers call their users. Drug users. Users.
The only two terms we're users on.
Pictures, photos. It all goes to your brain, and it damages your front lobe. I think it's like right here.
It doesn't damage your front lobe. It damages your pineal gland, I'm pretty sure.
If I named it right, prefrontal cortex or some crap like that, it damages it. So social media is extremely bad for a developing mind, and it's programming you. I don't mean to sound like some alien conspiracy theorist, but it's just the truth.
So self-aware.
And sources to get to us faster than before.
I agree with that. I do. But when I say that we're living in a bubble, how many of us actually look up those articles? Because most of us, we just are on Instagram.
What is happening in Nicaragua then?
Their dictator. He took away their health care and their social security. So they kind of...
She's very involved with these issues that she can't change, so she's kind of like falling into these things as well. But it's good to, be passionate about those ideas even if you are young.
Revolted against him, and sometimes they just lock you up or kill you. There have been almost 400 people dead and thousands injured. That's horrible. That shit.
You're teenagers. Are you going to go there and ask him to stop politely and then get shot? Because I think that...
What is that going to do?
What
is worrying about going to do? People die. There's more slavery in the world today than ever. And I don't know if that's true, but I'm saying it. I'm pretty sure that's true. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure that's true. But that's not even an issue anybody talks about. We talk about a fucking orange guy as the president. We complain that he's doing all these things. It doesn't even matter what thing. It doesn't matter what thing it is. We complain about him, or if it's not him, we complain about the sleepy guy that falls up the stairs. We complain about the little things like the presidents, dude. Like, there's actual issues. People that suffer, people in slavery, people in China sweatshops that are making your Nike shoes that people wrap in plastic and don't even wear. And we worry about shit like, I can't afford my eggs. Like, yeah, our issues matter too. But those issues are big. And if we're, like, going to complain about our issues and we're going to complain about the big issues and we're not going to do anything to try to solve the big issues and keep complaining about our little issues, what's the point? You're just making yourself feel worse. That's just negativity. You gotta be positive, unlike me right now.
Trust that those people will be okay afterwards.
Audio cut out. Audio's just cutting out.
Sorry about that. You should live your life at the moment.
Give you a headline, like I usually just look at all the headlines, but I had no idea. Like I've literally never heard anyone talk about that. Yeah.
Teenagers have more influence than previous generations. 3, 2, 1.
Well,
97 to 2010.
We had a walkout a while ago when all the shootings had happened, and one of the kids actually in the grade below me organized that and organized it through social media. And
no one cares. That's not what they're asking. They're asking influence on previous generations and more like in the world, like politics and how they're going to run. Teenagers don't, young adults do, but very slightly. It's all run by the old heads up there. Like teenagers, I mean, like our generation, Gen Z, has probably the most influence out of any generation, I think, in recent years. Like that whole Minecraft movie thing, that was all Gen Z and Gen A lighting up movie theaters and going crazy over that. Like we all brought ourselves together to do that. So there's like impact that we can create, and social media is definitely a catalyst for that. So that's what I think. I think that it is. I think it's gonna get a lot worse.
it's like, hey everyone, we're gonna march the city.
Understand what the question was. I think she's saying, does it have more influence in the past generation of teenagers? Like
literally what I just said. I'm so the same person. Who would have thought? I think the same as myself from 4 years ago. I'm just a little bit more annoying now.
80s and 90s and 70s, 60s, so forth, so back. Question means have that influence to influence the younger, influencing older kids, as she's saying.
No idea what I'm saying.
That, but it's an answer.
But I agree.
Some kind of answer.
Hall, like, this is what we're gonna do, but I don't think that would have been possible if it was all like face-to-face contact.
I think we're more influential than we think because it's all about our mindset and what we think about our power that we have just in our phones. We can get millions.
That kid's pretty smart.
Got the good ideas, I think.
People a message out to them that with all this technology, we definitely have more of a voice than previous.
That's literally what I just said. This kid's so smart.
The answer.
That's why I think he's chill. They had a nice like respectful little confrontation in there, and they worked it out great. They hired some good teams for that one.
So much for watching. I'm not going to ask you to subscribe or anything. I just want you to think about the things that I've talked about, and you can go back if you want and just really think of it in your head. Think about if any of these questions are affecting you in your day-to-day life. I don't know who's watching this, but if you are, I hope you take some knowledge from this, and I hope you have an amazing day. It is, what time is it for me?
Look at the timestamp in the bottom right corner. 2:28 p.m., 3/18/2022. Oh, 2022? I thought this video was way older. It's like what time is it? It's 2:52 for me right now. This is almost an exact, that's cool, 3 years apart.
So
look at the tags up at the top. Do all teams think the same? Want to make a reaction video? YouTube download. Because I was trying to download it, react to it, but it didn't work.
hope you guys do as well. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Difference is, I am going to ask you to subscribe because I think you should stick around and check out more videos and stuff. So yeah, subscribe if you want to. Just get back here. But thank you guys so much for watching. It looks like if this video is lagging, I am going to be very upset because I thought that I got my video recording good, but it looks like it's lagging really hard. But thanks for watching.